Alrighty, it's Zomboid time. Very early stream today. Very weird timing for the stream as well, as you can see by how very much I am backlit. I feel like I look a little greasy today, which I probably do, at least a little bit. I walked like 3 miles at work earlier, at least three. That's a pretty good distance. And it was outside. Oh my God, why is it so loud? Is my game? Okay, there we go. But yeah, I'm a little greasy today. Riley with the first. Tung Tung with fans. You're here even before Knife. You really are the true first. The true. What were we doing last time? The true fan. How's it going, Riley? I hope you're doing well. How's the day going? It's been pretty well. We got some work done earlier. Avoiding work while working from home. I feel that one. How big is this? You can probably take 5. Admin showed up on location an hour ago, so I'm chilling. Hell yes. We love to get the chill work from home type days. Work woes not stressing you too much. I hope. I know what life be like. Sad though, I have a new teacher starting today and I worked with her at another school and I love her. Oh, well, I'm not there for her first day. That's okay. You can show up tomorrow or whenever you're in office again and be like, "Hey, I noticed that you work here now and I am so glad that you're here." I feel like she's only on Tuesdays. No. Well, it'll have to be next week. I hired her. Hell yeah. I mean, it's all about the networking, right? They networked well. They is a zombie snoring? The hell? Anyways, I mean, that's good networking. You love to have somebody that you work with previously show up and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for a new place." Why don't I have a pet zombie in a cage? Really? I think the primary reason we don't is because it's a real pain in the ass. Like making a cage that a zombie doesn't immediately or spend like hours and hours. It'd be like having a cat outside your door all day, just like, "Please let me in. I'm so hungry." Except they're not particularly hungry for cat food. They're looking for human food, but of a different variety. My knife. Oh, you got the NASA thing? Hell yeah. The other red meat. The long pork, if you will. Are any of these fits actually, like, funny? Suit jacket? No. I'm always on the lookout for a silly fit for our Zomboid characters. How do I get in NASA? I think you have to watch like an hour of the NASA streams. And then you can unlock it. I mean, I just other monitored it last night. I think I did it during my stream. Boo. There are worse ones. I like the share the love one that I have right now, so I'm probably not gonna be swapping anytime soon, but damn. This looks like a me parking job. Popped the curb and everything. One monitor on mobile. Ah. Truly pain. Anybody got any silly fits in the laundromat? Just underwear? Come on. Dryer lint? Can't really wear that one. I think you can use it to start fires, though. What's been going on with me today? As I said, I went on a good walk. Good little walkie. And then later tonight we're going to a concert. Excited for that. Imagine being in an apocalypse and finding a free thong. Would you wear it? It would definitely have to go... I definitely have to give it a smell check before I'd even consider. Really, I'm not much of a thong person, generally. I have like a sensational issue with that of like, I gotta be firmly grasped. Smell check strange undies is crazy. I'm not gonna be sticking my face in it like, yes, let me get in there. It's gonna be like a... You know my ass is not getting in there. Oh, Riley, thank you for the sub. Are my alerts actually working? There they are. They're just a little delayed. Yes, thank you for the sub. The primers. Much appreciated. It is never an obligation, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Wafting? Yeah, wafting is exactly what we would be doing. The scientific, No, Prime doesn't count towards the numbers, but I don't like the ads anymore. I think it counts. I really, like, me being on here, it's all about doing fun things and, like, getting to chat with people. That's priority numero uno here. Ooh, lipstick. It's a nice shade, actually. Can I use the comb for anything? No. I think I can melt it and make a shiv? Not that that matters. I would wear the free lipstick. I would too, actually. I'm not much of a lipstick person. But in the apocalypse, I'm just vibing. Yeah, I'll put the lipstick on. But again, as I've been saying, like, nobody is obligated to spend money on the stream. I do this because it's fun hanging out with everybody and getting the opportunity to vibe. Need to get electrolysis on my face ASAP. I want to be hairy in the apocalypse. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like I'm pretty comfortable with my body for the most part. So I am quite privileged in this position. I'm generally pretty happy with how I look. There's just little things that I like getting my ears pierced yesterday. It's all like stuff to be like, you know what, this is more my vibe. But I've thought about getting electrolysis on my face. Congrats, thank you. I'll see if I can get a good, we'll show it off in a second here. If I were to get electrolysis, it would be on my head, just because it's such a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. I'm gonna go after my next paycheck. Electrolysis or the ears pierced? Gotta clarify. Mostly for myself. Lock is broken. I wish electrolysis. It's expensive. That's the biggest gripe I have with it, is just like all of it is just so damn expensive. Like getting my ears pierced, that was $150, $160 with tip. It's a lot. It's not an insignificant amount. Wish I could get my insurance to cover it. Mental health care. Yo, actually, if you could convince your insurance, then again, that's like trying to convince people that do not want to give you money to give you money. I mean, that's exactly what it is, but I just wish that we had more options for it, so I could be like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You won't cover my shit. Oh, hang on. I need that. I need that lighter. Good price for a piercing? Yeah, like it's done at a professional studio, so it's like, you know, I don't mind paying that much because it goes towards like people that somebody that I know is like a professional and capable of doing good stuff. I think we went with an apprentice because I was like, they were like, it'll be a little faster. I was like, I'll take the apprentice. You don't need to sell me on it. I'll already take the apprentice. I'm not somebody that goes, apprentice, unless it's like, when I go tattoo shopping, I'll usually be like, I want this specific artist. But that's because, like, I'm very particular about what I'm gonna put on my body permanently. And I think that the apprentice did a great job of actually, like, placing well and piercing. It's either the apprentice or my friend Mike. Yeah, like apprentice is already way more experienced than my other option. Yeah, it's like, okay, I can do it at home, but it's not gonna look good. Like I'm paying for the person that's actually good at their job to, you know, do their job well. An apprenticeship, it's like you've been doing it for less than 2 years. And you can catch somebody on the tail end of those 2 years and they're still an apprentice, but still like better than 90% of people. Like my ass is not gonna be doing a good job piercing myself. I would have screwed up my placements. Hang on, let me actually show it. Yeah. We got, how close? Let me swivel the microphone a little bit. We're getting a little close. Cute little You little studs. No Claire kits? Yeah. Telling us she hears horror stories a lot from older women. Ugh. Yeah, just hearing about that, I was like, I sure am glad that we are going in. I'm glad that we're coming in for this. Also, Claire's is like, the people there do not give a shit. They're not paid to give a shit, and I don't blame them. Keep the new redeem. What else? What's my new redeem again? Game suggestions? Yes, I did. I did add that. Straight stealing from Brungo on that one. Again, I have no qualms with admitting that I'm taking the ideas, but I don't think Brungo minds too much. Ooh, potato pancakes. It's good to be inspired. Yeah, that's my thought exactly. Like, I'm all about, if as an artist, which like streaming is kind of an art itself, simply because it's live performance and live performing is artistry. Not to toot my own horn, of course, like I'm definitely on the lower end of capability on that. But still, like, it is, I think as long as you're crediting the people that inspire you, that's what matters the most. Germa saying Beethoven, Mozart, they're gone. I'm still here. Yeah, that's the funny. Like, the best part is he's 100% right. Like, they're not making new stuff. I'm still alive. I can still innovate. I'm here, baby. And I'm not going quite yet. But yes, I'm all about like wear your inspirations on your sleeve and don't be afraid to say these are the people that like are important to me in this field. Like Sublime, a lot of their stuff is like just straight up sampled. Some classic reggae stuff. Yeah, but will Germa be remembered forever? Probably not. Salty Beethoven is a friend is a favorite of mine. It obviously it's all in good fun. Like Beethoven is it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, of course Beethoven is gonna be Beethoven is one of the greats, baby. If I am spoken even in like a tangential way with somebody of that caliber, I'd be like, hell yeah. You're the only person I've ever used heard use the Dutch pronunciation. Really? Is it Beethoven or Beethoven? Most people say Beethoven. Beethoven. I'm probably gonna fuck it up now. I'm gonna be so self conscious about it. I'll be so for real. As soon as somebody talks about my pronunciation, I'm like, oh, I'm always gonna be doing it wrong now. Oops. Regardless, I I just kind of go by vibes. You know what the vibe is today? Trying to pronounce things somewhat correctly. Even moderately correctly is good enough for me. But yes, like being inspired is a huge thing. Beethoven is what it is, though. It means beet farm. Yes, Hoven makes sense as that. What's the? Hang on. There's somebody I follow on YouTube that is, I think they're Dutch. They might be from the Netherlands. They're from that region generally. Ludwig was German, but his ancestry was Dutch. You know, I'm actually not super familiar with a lot of that stuff, so I'm always happy to be learning. Always happy to be enlightened. Music history was my favorite course set in college. Ooh. I love learning about history. I can yap about it for days. Anthropology and like, I mean, there's so much history, so like, you know, you kind of have to spec. Oop. I knew that there was a guy down there, but still spooked me. I don't know what I would really spec into history-wise, though. Just to... I'm just generally interested in stuff. When I was a little kid, we had tapes of the lives and history of classical composers, and I was obsessed with them. But they were biased takes. Yeah, people love to whitewash or sanitize the reality of life. Like Mozart was a drunk and a womanizer. I feel like being famous in any capacity back then, most people ended up kind of going that route. Just like, yeah, whatever. What is there to do but drink and fuck? Helping me become a music head, and I'm glad about that. Oh yeah, like, it's all about perspectives. And like, sure, there's a lot of terrible things that these people have done, but they do end up leaving a lasting legacy. Only the good die young. No, he died young because he drank 4 bottles of wine a day. Yeah. He kind of set himself up for that. Kind of set himself up to die young. Hang on, what is this? You know, I don't think I'm ever gonna be drinking 4 bottles of wine a day. I think I'm good on that front. It's also expensive as hell now. Can you imagine showing up to the liquor store being like, "Yeah, give me 4 bottles. I'll be back tomorrow." That would run hell on my wallet. I'll tell you that much. I'm too much of a lightweight. Yeah, me too nowadays. Like a glass of wine and I'm feeling tipsy and I'm like, you know what? I don't really need any further than this. Wine was cheap as hell back then. That is true. It was also like less well, I think it would be generally less specialized, but obviously there have always been the specialists. Always been the ones that are quite good at making, procuring vintage good. Well, not vintage, not that. Not the term I'm trying to use here. There have always been specialists, and there have always been individuals and groups that make fine goods. What's the term I'm using for? Fuck. Experts, I guess? Artisans, that's the one I'm looking for. It's like, none of these terms I feel like are capturing what I'm going for properly. Where the hell did I put my... What am I doing? But yeah, it's all about... If you're just looking to get drunk, you can definitely get some cheap-ass wine. Did I even look in this house? Busting down the windows. Like, I have nothing but respect for the artisans and, like, experts in a field. Dedicating your life to a craft is... There's got to be some days where it's just like, this actually sucks. Why did I go into this? But I mean, it's got to be rewarding having... It's got to be rewarding having that level of expertise. Phone glitched out hard. What kind of glitch are we talking about here? Is it one of those, like, screen tears? Everything goes black and white. Audio freaks out. I mean, none of those feel particularly good, of course. But the door is open. Why are you busting out the glass? Okay, well, now I'm the one breaking the windows. Are you able to zoom, or is it stuck at bird's eye? I typically play pretty far out if I'm doing street stuff, because it's good to know where all of the various voids are. But usually, I need to be better about zooming appropriately, rather than just playing in, like... I'm God watching this woman go throughout her life. It gives it a little bit more character, a little bit more personality. Oh good, helicopter event. Oh, that's a generator. Hang on, what's a good tree for smoke? Because generators make smoke. Cartoon ass logic, but you know, as long as it works. Sometimes the shorthand Makes very little sense. Yeah, we need to get out of here. I would prefer not to have all of the zombies in the area come busting down my door. At least if I can help it. Just grab the cooler and go on inside. Hopefully they piss off sometime soon. I probably need to get a sledgehammer to have an easy way to get over to the other side of the bar. Sledgehammer and, like, bust down this wall, probably put up a secondary door at the top and bottom of this. Door here. Saw a transcript of a call that was made and the parents asked the same question 5 times in 5 different ways. Some people don't listen. Some people are allergic to actually paying attention. It was like a monologue each time. Paying attention, like reading comprehension, paying attention, there's a ton of skills that are kind of falling by the wayside generally. Of just like, okay. Oh man, everything's going stale. I need to speed up my getting back to the freezer. I feel like just comprehension skills generally are falling by the wayside. People are allergic to actually thinking about what they're asking and like what the person is saying. Sometimes there's like miscommunication, of course, but it's really annoying. The way that many people are just like, sorry, can you repeat that? I was listening to my TikTok. Ask the same question 6 times. Personally, I think that neurotypicals are just NPCs. I won't go with that. But I do feel like a lot of neurotypical people do just completely forego thinking about things critically. Like I tend to overanalyze, which is a downside. But I can't imagine going through life being like, yep, I'm just gonna work the 9 to 5 and never think about the ramifications of my actions or like the way that other people interact in this world. Like, I try not to overanalyze too much nowadays, but damn, is it frustrating having so many people completely forego critical thought or analysis. You rely only on ape instinct. Like, you evolved a complex neural network. Yeah. Like, just not questioning things that you're told, the way that people act around you. I can't imagine going through life like that. Like, sure, you can Where do I do exercises? There we go. Let's do burpees for a bit. Let's do burpees for 30 minutes. Set everything on the ground here. Everything I make it work is just idiot-proof now because I don't trust parents to understand. God. So much of what people do is just completely foregoing thinking. I mean, like, I understand if you're a parent, you got a lot of shit on the go. But also, did I actually fully wash? Like, you got to do a lot to take care of your kids. You got to make sure that they're doing things right too. And that can be overwhelming at times. But like, come on, man, you gotta put more thought into your day to day, like your moment to moment. Maybe living exclusively moment to moment is bad. And I say maybe as if there's not a counterpoint to that. There's very much a counterpoint to that. You should definitely try to have more long-term planning. But holy cow. It's just no... Sorry, the helicopter noise is driving me crazy. Can you shut that loud mess up? I'm trying to have a thought process here. Oh good, it's gone for now. 13 page. You know what? We finish it. That guy needs to fuck off. Can you just please fuck off? Anyways, the thought process I'm trying to elucidate here is just so many people don't put more effort, more than like the minimal possible effort in existing. And it's damn frustrating as somebody that like tries to put more effort in the day-to-day. Like, come on, guys. Sorry, I feel like I had something there and then my thought process was completely run amok by Mr. Helicopter. Okay, no more TV it looks like. Alas. But yeah, as somebody that generally oh no, my character is sore. The burpees. That's it. I'm never exercising again. What do we have in the freezer? Save the ice cream for... We'll save the ice cream for when we desperately need it. Why did I freeze beef jerky? Eating frozen fries doesn't make you upset? Oh, okay, that's good. Good to know. Just standing around, waiting for my fries to be done. But yeah, I just can't imagine like being somebody and being just not trying to level out your communication skills at all. How many zombies do we have down here? That's a handful. Is this my run over the zombies in truck? I think it is now. Like, I try to be more mindful of what I'm doing generally. Multitasking is not something I'm particularly good at. So I try to give a 100% focus in what I'm doing, other than streaming, of course. Streaming is like 100% multitasking. Honestly, it feels a little overwhelming at times, being like, I have to actually think. To lock in at work for a second. Don't worry about it. No need to explain. Work be like that. Gotta pay. What are we doing with the truck? Just killing zombies? Yeah, the helicopter event is notorious for being something that you don't want to have happen while you're out and about, and it happened while we were out and about. Because it'll attract a bunch of zombies to your general area, and it will follow you back to your base. But fortunately, we can just commit vehicular undead slaughter. Why the fuck does somebody have a helicopter? I think it's military or like newscasting, canonically. One of those two. If you got in a car, wouldn't it help lure them away though? Yeah, it would help lure them away, but at the same time, I have to deal with them later then. And if I have the resources and time to take care of them now, it's just kind of paying it forward to my future self. Like, I could just go out and go looting again, but it would be a bit more of a pain. How are you on gas, though? This is my I don't give a fuck about it car. Oh, it still has stuff on it, though. Let's grab this duffel bag, too. Anyways, it's my beat it up by hitting zombies with it car, so I don't really want to put a ton of gas into it. because I'm afraid that it will be a waste of my resources if I do. Although I can just siphon it back out. It's really just, it's partially laziness and partially like, I don't really need to worry about it, so I'm not gonna. Oh shit, a lot of zombie loot. The thing about zombies in this game is that they don't really have a whole lot of good stuff. Sometimes you'll encounter some zombies that are more, like survivor zombies or like cops. Sometimes you'll encounter prisoners who have like duffel bags and stuff. Cop zombies are notorious because, you know, they can have guns. Sometimes they have body armor. A bunch of them in the woods here. Let's... Oh, they got a nice cluster around the front door. Hopefully they didn't bust down any of the doors. Oh. Okay. Helicopter attracted more than I thought. Let's just try and keep them on the road then. Do cop zombies shoot? Fortunately for us, they do not. Otherwise, that would be a real pain in the ass. But sometimes they'll have... What a horde. Yeah, this might be... This might actually be Molotov size. So it's Walking Dead style. It's very much Walking Dead style, more natively. Been adding more zombie intelligence stuff, like opening doors and such, so maybe later. If I have to deal with zombies that shoot at me, I'm gonna be real upset. Sorry, I know the horn is loud, so I try not to do it too much. Okay, this is Molotov size. I've decided. Yeah, that's a good size horde. My God. This is a terrible day to be sore. You gonna go say bye to someone before they stop streaming? That's fine. You're more than welcome to do that. Good luck. I think like NPCs that might shoot is more in line with the zombie types with the... Yeah, I think like most zombie media, the primary thing... You know what time it is? Yup. Elmo. It's very much Molotov time, although I definitely have to be careful with being sore. We also, oh, and right next to the house, we gotta be careful about how, if anything, we go into the woods over here. Or like up in this region, try and separate it out a little bit. Yeah, this would not be suitable for my... My don't give a fuck truck. Don't give a truck. Anyways, we'll just let her fly there. The Left Behind crawlers are so funny. Yeah, the crawlers are they certainly do be crawling. And now we do the traditional horde kiting. We're doing it a little risky today. or right now. There are so many ways that this can go wrong. But I choose to believe that I'm competent enough at Molotov kiting at this point that it'll be okay. Spicy! Yes. I think my biggest afterthought on this is how many zombies are there gonna be that I have to worry about? Like, how many zombies could it be other than this pile? I think it pulled, like, pretty much everybody in the woods to the north here. Although there's not a ton this way. Lots. There will always be more opportunities for zombie Molotoving. Do not fret that. There's always lots. Yeah. That is true. There are always lots and lots of zombies. This is my this is what my character sheet would look like IRL right now. I am sore. Maybe a little less on like the torso up, but there's still some soreness there. Let's do a quick jog to make sure that these guys stay grouped. Moldra can be a little intimidating at times. Moldra is like, I mean, it's like the first pick for me. Anytime somebody suggests Zomboid, I'm like, you know what? Moldra is a good city. It's kind of like wide, so it gives you opportunities to establish bases in a lot of different areas. And there's a lot of, like, there's so much everything. That you don't really need to worry about resources, at least generally. Like, you can't go fishing, but I think hunting is, now that hunting is like actually more doable. Like you can have a lot more of a sustainable food source. Like agriculture is always good. I still haven't actually seen the fishing. Gotta show me at some point. I will. I will definitely be showing off fishing again at some point. It's just I myself have not done a whole lot of fishing in Zomboid either, so I'm not super familiar with the mechanic. But it's pretty simple. Just overall. Oh man. Did they break that? Did they bust that? How many windows are broken here? Just the one at the front. I think there's 2 more in the back. I gotta clear out the zombies down here again. What I need to do is I need to board up all of the windows too. Oh good, they broke down the front door too. Once they're inside, they're kind of, you gotta kind of go in to make sure that they get fully cleared out. Hey, buddy. All right, so that's the first door set busted into. There's gonna be at least like 4 or 5 in here, probably. No? They might have busted back out. This place is kind of a hassle to secure. In hindsight, I'm thinking it may not be the best. It just has a lot of storage space that I can utilize. It's also kind of got the, not Hot Fuzz, the Shaun of the Dead factor of go to Smokies, have a pint, and it'll all blow over. I don't think it's blowing over anytime soon. Also, it's really out of the way, which is great. I certainly appreciate that. I think we could definitely carve out a couple of agriculture areas here. And, like, if we ever get animals, we could probably set them up, like, close to the house. Have more farming, like, on that side. Like, it's feeding one person is not that much work. At least not in this game. And for that, I am grateful. Oh my god, there's more guys outside, too. It's always something. But yeah, Muldra is... It's not very central, but if I ever want to, you know, springboard off...
Hey!
And go somewhere else, I also have that option. Specifically, like, Louisville or West Point, some of the larger cities. Like, we're in the area of the map that I think has the highest population density. And being in an area with a high population density is, you know, it's a double-edged sword, of course. You got good loot options, but you also have many, many zombies that you have to deal with pretty consistently. Okay, which one of these guys has a digital watch going off? Anyways, as I've been saying, like, Smokies, I think you want to establish kind of more at the one of the sides here. And, like, up here I have the warehouse. I'm kind of close to the lumber yard. The biggest inconvenience is, like, gas station, which is close. We have, I think it's this one. This one, and it's off the main roads. They're pretty pretty easy to access from here. And I also have the gas cans, so not too much work. Just slight inconveniences. Also, I can disassemble a lot of the furniture in here. Which is good, good XP. Good carpentry XP. And then again, the warehouse over there, like, I can just pick up some of the crates and turn that and, like, use that to kind of barricade down. Down in the lower part of the bar. Plumba bug. My beloved. I can also barricade all of the windows too, which will be fine. Won't be the most work to deal with. I think we use these lower sections here to store some of our heavier stuff that would not otherwise get used. Like our scythe and shovel. Probably not using those too much. Straight razor can go upstairs. Definitely don't need all of these whetstones. Like, they're nice to have on hand, but who needs them right now? Me and my collection of 17 whetstones. That'll be what gets me through the zombie apocalypse. Whetstones. What had I been saying earlier? I feel like I had a train of thought that I just kind of abandoned. Look at how cute this little bug is. Wouldn't you want to cuddle up with that thing? Give it a little hug, fall asleep. I know I would. Aphids, surprisingly cute. I'll hug anything. Look, as long as it's cute and the stuffed. Yeah, me too. If it's a cute stuffed critter, I'll happily give it a little hug on the way to the Snooze Express. RPG Manual, Adventure Manager, Imagination Rulebook. Didn't they add dice to this? I hope that if you go to the city, you can find a friendly local game store. That's what they need to add to this game. They need to add magic cards. They need to add Tragic the Garnering. Bring that back. Bring back the probably, like, just outright meanest joke in, in Fallout 2. Although, I think Tragic the Garnering, it does technically fall under the copyright of Bethesda, aka Microsoft now. If I'm remembering correctly. I've had Fallout on the brain a lot lately, obviously. Having played through the old school stuff. Oh, I have mayonnaise in the back? Oops. But yeah, like, every character that you interact with that plays Tragic is like a turbo dweeb. Which, I mean, when you're making parody, I guess you gotta have a little bit of reality in there too. Makes it that much more impactful, huh? Okay, we'll just load some things up. I do feel like, generally, Magic is more accepting now. Like, it's still obviously got some of that residual, Moog. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for the follow. Holdy our pissy. Thanks for the raid, guys. Much appreciated. I'm always happy to take the entertainment forefront for people that need to go do something else. Thanks, Moog. Much appreciated. What were you guys up to today? Me, I've been zombing out. Right now we're kind of in a lull while I get inventory managed, but we will be back at some fresh stuff. Fallout New Vegas? Yo! How's the Zomboid going? We're getting pretty well established out here. I'm pretty happy with how our base is looking. We're holing up in Smokies and Moldra. VM Member G, thanks for the follow as well. Holdy Arpissy. Is that a... Please elaborate on what that means. My feeble mind can only comprehend so much. How's New Vegas? How far in are you? What kind of build are you doing? Isn't it self-evident? I mean, kind of. And by kind of, I mean, it's mostly there. Moog didn't piss until Hype Train was. Yeah, you know what? I get it. I get it. I misread hold your piss. Oh, classic, classic. Hang on, let me, obviously I gotta shout you out too. It's been a hot minute. It's Moog Plays. I mean, everybody here's already coming, but you get the shout out nonetheless. It's a good habit to get into as well. In second DLC now, not really sure what my build is as usual. Someone gifted a sub to hold your pissy as Holy Our Pissy. Hell yes. Holy Our Pissy. Which DLC is the second one? That's I gotta rack my brain here. That's Old World Blues, right? And then it's, yeah, okay. We got Dead Money, Old World Blues. I gotta go back a decade trying to remember the release schedule for it. Old World Blues, Honest Hearts, and then Lonesome Road. Finished Honest Hearts before? Honestly, I think Honest Hearts, it's a little weaker. It has a little bit more on the exploration front, and the writing is pretty good. Getting to dunk on Daniel feels good. Is Honest Hearts the Zion one? Yes. I was so excited. So I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. You know, uh, grand old place to lose your mind if you're not Mormon. But I was so excited on release for Honest Hearts to come out, and then it came out, and I was like, this DLC is not very good. Like, everybody loves Joshua Graham because he's a great character, like major fun time guy in just like lore perspective and what he gets up to. Like what's the quote? The fire inside me burned brighter than the one around me. That goes hard. That goes hard as hell. Joshua Graham, yeah. Based off of the Mormon hitman Orrin Porter Rockwell, if I'm remembering correctly. The notorious for his pictures where he is staring down the camera like he's going to murder the cameraman. Anyways, that guy sucks. Definitely not a good guy. Not somebody to aspire to be. Great inspiration for a compelling character in a video game. Very, very solid character to write around. Mormon hitman is crazy. The history of Mormonism is bonkers. Like getting run out of every other town that you are in because you're a cult is, I mean, it makes sense, of course. But the way that they frame it, like even now, they're like, we were persecuted for believing the right thing. No offense to any Mormons in chat. Look, any Mormons that are watching this, I wish you the best, because there's a lot in that doctrine that's um, we'll say difficult to wrap your head around. Too late, Madge. I grew up Mormon myself, so I understand just enough to get in trouble. I am obviously not still involved in that based off of what I have to say, but I have a couple of buddies that are still drinking the Kool-Aid, and being a pretty queer individual myself, trying to wrap your head around being like in that environment and how much they hate you, it definitely pushed me out pretty quick. Also, I was just like, why do we hate people that are just living their life? Mormon theology is just why? Yeah, it's a lot of that. Hang on. We will be going to do some actually more interesting things in just a moment. This is the thing about Zomboid is I use it as a place to just kind of ramble. And also because I have a little bit of a 2 a.m. Well, 2 a.m. looting sesh, I guess. I just love to use Zomboid as background. It's my Subway Surfers. But yeah, Mormon theology is like if you had Christian Jewish fanfic, where like they really hold the Jewish ideology very high, and obviously no offense intended in there. It's just like, for me, it's a lot of, okay, but what makes, if Mormonism is the true religion, why does it cosplay Judaism so much? Like growing up, there's something called seminary that everybody would do. And during Passover, they would actually like have us role play doing a Passover feast. It was crazy. If you were to create a religion or cult, what would it be? Cult of the Wagga. I mean, Wagga's a pretty good one. It's kind of hard to top that. I can't see shit in here. Top Wagga. What would the religion or cult? Well, it's gonna be a cult. Let's be real. Knife, get ready to put me out to pasture. If I make a cult, it's probably gonna be about like, hey, we can be nice to each other, right? We don't have to constantly be treating each other this way. Only difference between a cult and a religion is political power. That's true. That's true if I've ever seen it. Hey, can we be nice to each other while bashing the head of a zombie? Yeah. They're not alive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. Ah, shit, I really am falling into the cult mindset. They're not really people, are they? Monka. I mean, if I'm gonna, I'd probably go, if I were actually going to go into a cult mindset, I'd probably go like full Scientology and make it just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, there's this alien called Xenu, and he put us all on Earth, and one day he'll come back. Praise be to Xenu. Praise be, I guess. Personally, I believe the Jakob theory. Enlighten me on that. I'm not familiar. Ooh, is that a box of wine? Yo, let's get trashed at 2 in the morning. Jakob was an ancient magician who created white people. 2 a.m. zombie schwasty. We get a little schwasted in Zomboid. Ooh, is that a popsicle too? You ever wake up at 2 a.m. and you're like, I can't get back to sleep? Well, time to begin my day, and then by like 8, you regret your decisions immediately. Immediately 8 hours later. Never. Yes. It certainly happened to me at least a couple of times. Progesterone keeps me sleepy. I would love if I actually got to stay sleepy. Well, maybe less sleepy even. A fedora? Yo, hang on. What's this shit look like? We got the trilby and everything. Mazombie. Wish there was a thing that could make me sleepy. Well, ask Riley. You wanna transition? We got a good source. Straight from the mod basement. Progesterone keeps me a lot. Unfortunately, I'm cisgender. For shame. God, I can't believe... I can't believe we have straight people, well, cis people in chat. Typically, you need to be on estrogen for a year. Unfortunately, yeah. Don't slander me with straightness. That's true. You have talked about your rating on the Kinsey scale. We're going into the trailer park. I don't think we need to be here. Let's go off to the main road a little bit more. Everybody in chat, feel free to post your Kinsey scale rating. I can't remember how the rating system actually works. A little bit of 3 a.m. booze cruising in Zomboid. What I love about Zomboid is that I can really do the things that I would never do in real life, like drink and drive and smash in the heads of my enemies. Those gosh darn cis people and their love for the opposite sex, how dare they? Can't believe it. I can't believe that there are cis straight people. What the fuck? One through six, one being obligate hetero, two, six being obligate homo. I'm probably like a 3.5 on that. Maybe closer to 3. What's the scale? The Kinsey scale? Come on, guys. Hanging out in my chat, not knowing the Kinsey scale? For shame. Obviously a joke. Although I do love the idea of being a Twitch streamer that assigns homework. All right, guys. Before next stream, we're gonna do a test on the Kinsey scale. Make sure to read up. We'll be talking about it in depth on Thursday, okay? It's 0 through 6, 0 being obligate hetero. I'm not familiar with a lot of terms. I live under a rock. That's okay. I'm just poking a little fun. Understood. Anybody that anybody that gets under a C, see me after class, and if you subscribe to the channel, then you get an automatic pass, okay? Apparently I'm more homosexual with more incidental heterosexual tendencies. Everybody lives a different life and has different attractions. It's just like, I think it's a good shorthand for being like, I'm pretty gay. Like, I'm pretty homosexual versus I'm pretty straight. Like, obviously it's all a spectrum, so as with everything in life. The spectrum, everybody's on a different point there. From a 1.5 to a 2. Now, the real question is it all about the muscles, or is it like the... What aspect of it makes it better for you? Weird phrasing. What aspect of an individual makes them more or less attractive to you? Obviously, like, personality, numero uno. But for physicality, like, everybody's got a different sort of appeal there. Total level of their old school RuneScape account. Hang on. What's my OSRS? Do I have that on my phone? No, I do. Hang on. We gotta pull it up and find out. Like, obviously the Kinsey scale assumes 2 genders. Yeah. Like, there's, again, gender is a spectrum. Me, I'm kind of off the spectrum there. What's my... Failed to log in. No! Shit. Anyways, I think it's like 2,000 now. When I first started my job, I think I played like 6 hours of OSRS a day for like 4 months. Also, hi Brongo. Yeah, I didn't actually address one of our streamer queens. For boys, I like them to be pretty and dumb. For women, I love all women. I get that. I feel that. I feel that in my bones. I'm a 0, but I'd suck my homie. Say no homo after. You know what? You get it. You get it. You understand. Can I just eat a whole pineapple? I can. Didn't know we had an elected Republican in house. Look, you can only say no homo after... Maybe that's... I'll bite my tongue on that one. That's a little crass. You can only say no... I'm saying it anyways. You can only say no homo after you swallow, okay? Brungo, are you back tonight? Yes, more Brungo stream. That's what I've been saying too. I don't know why being called man makes me so... That's a huge gender affirmation right there. Like my preferred, as a non-binary person, I love to be referred to as chef. Even though, like, I'm definitely not a professional chef. I just love, yes, chef. Yes, chef. How do you feel about boss? Boss is pretty good. In German, chef equals boss. I'd take either. Paisan. Paisan's acceptable. What's the... Ja, chef. So what's cooking, chef? I feel like cooking is generally where I find the most artistic expression. Being in the kitchen and looking in what I have and being able to be like, what do I make out of this? Just feels incredible. My canvas is in the kitchen. One day I'll get mammed, maybe. Ma'am, keep your chin up. You're beautiful. You're beautiful the way that you are. And that goes for everybody. Even if sometimes we have the wrong body for how we feel, there's steps to be taken, and take them. If it makes you feel happy with the body that you have, that's the best step that I feel. But again, I'm very happy for you, Brongo. I'm very happy for you being comfortable enough with your audience to come out and everything too. I feel a lot of I'll say gender compersion, I guess would be the best comparison. Really excited for you to get through 6 months. You're gonna be surprised. Yeah, the HRT is. I have a trans coworker that is F2M, and he looks great. Like, he's got the full beard. He's looking like he's got the voice. He talked to me about being trans. What point was it? Like 3 months into the first time I worked at this workplace, and I was like, oh shit, really? One, thank you for feeling comfortable enough to talk to me about that. And two, if passing is a goal, you're doing a great job. Marmalade? Hang on, do people have marmalade sandwiches? Marmalade and peanut butter sandwiches specifically? Is that a common thing? Taken 2 years, but I feel like I finally like my body. Yeah. I'm so happy for you, Riley. That's awesome. Tell me you haven't seen Paddington without telling me you haven't seen Paddington. I don't... I... Do I look like the kind of person that puts on Paddington? Do I look like Kojima to you? Isn't marmalade just jam? I'm not aware. Paddington is so me-coded. Really? Is it whimsical? Is it joyful? Is that what makes you say that? Because I definitely don't feel like I'm either of those. Also, again, Brungo, I wish you the best of luck in your journey. I'm very happy for you, and I hope you are more than welcome to talk about issues if you feel the need to do so. This is a place where everybody is welcome to talk about whatever they feel comfortable talking about. Oh shit, a pistol in the bedside drawer? This really is the 90s. No box or nothing? Pistol. Hang on, how much ammo did that have? Did that have... It had 2 bullets. Jesus. Alright, let's get this crap out of my inventory. But yeah, what am I saying? I just hope that y'all feel okay about being in here. That's really my number one goal is shoot the shit, be somewhere that people feel okay talking about, you know, personal things. Feel safe in the midstream. Thank you, Riley. You're doing a great job. Thank you, VM. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all chatting, of course. Also, Brungo, if you're still here, is Rain World is still on the docket for you today, right? There was what? You were still in the DLC working through that? Maybe don't go in the basement first. Actually think about what I'm doing a little bit. Rain World is very interesting. I've had that on the list for a hot minute now. At least on the Steam wish list, being like, my trouble is that I don't know how entertaining I could make it. Not that I don't think it's an entertaining game, but I feel like when I jump into a new game like that, where it's very much trial and error, I feel like I can get tilted and it gets a little hard. Very interesting. I don't understand the plot at all, but I like Brungo, so I don't care. Don't sweat typos in here. Don't sweat it. I feel like oh yeah, I was talking RimWorld, not RimWorld, Rain World. Although, does anybody know RimWorld in here? I feel like that could be a relatively chill-ish stream game, but I'm not. I don't feel like it would be that could be an interesting one. We could name people after chatters. Gotta go get some sleep. Have an excellent stream and an even better rest of your day. Thank you, VM. I hope that you get a good night's sleep. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with the raid. I hope that you can get a good snooze. RimWorld, you say? Yeah, RimWorld. I think I don't have many of the DLC, which are pretty compelling in their own right. I think I really want to try out the horror one. Whose world are we rimming again? Is that a real game? I was just thinking about Rim. RimWorld is an actual game. It's like a colony management sim. Maybe I like playing sim games too much. Perhaps. Sim games are fun. I feel like they have a lot of they have a good place. If it's for what I'm doing, I think it might be a perfect candidate. the macaroni in the back of the van. What concert are we seeing tonight? We're seeing Health. I thought Knife answered the question earlier, so I just let it fly. Yeah, we're gonna go see Health. If anybody is familiar, the self-proclaimed cum metal band. I've never heard of them. They're pretty popular in a variety of different circles. Very queer friendly. I know I've raided into them a couple of times when I think their bassist is a huge shit poster, commonly known as Johnny Health. Anyways, they're interesting. We're seeing them mostly for Knife. We saw them out in Baltimore last year? Or was that... Yeah, I think it was late. No, it was early last year. But they're pretty fun. Were you all in Baltimore for the concert? We were living out in Baltimore. Not Baltimore. We were living out in Maryland. I won't say the city because it is a little, you know. But we were living out in, like, more central Maryland. But we moved back here because we were going to try and build out a van to live in. But we had to stay at my mom's basement, and I've talked about how I do not have a fantastic relationship with my mother. So we were sleeping on a futon down there in my mom's basement for a while, and I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this right now. We'll come back to building the van after we get an apartment. And so here we are. I also got a streaming PC because that was a big goal of mine at the time, and also still is, you know. Sounds fun and also awful. Yup. It's it was definitely a lot of both there. Ooh, another generator. Where am I? Here we are. But yeah, also with how gas prices are, I'm like, yikes, I'm really hoping, I'm kind of glad that we didn't end up doing that more long term. Puppy is learning to fence fight? No! Neighbor's dog are bad examples. It's always such a pain trying to get those habits out. Which the hell? Room upstairs, probably. Huh? That next door, or are they busting down the fence? As I was saying, it's always such a pain trying to get animals to unlearn the bad behaviors like that. I had a cat before I met Knife. I had this cat that I got from a friend that just was so poorly trained. Like, had some significant behavioral issues. And, like, he was my first cat. And unfortunately, I did not really know what to do to try and train that out. He was just kind of a disaster, like, emotionally. But I understand and accept my part in that. I just didn't know how to try and make sure, make sure to guarantee that the kitty cat got his needs met while also not being a real menace. Actually, this might be a good... The end of this neighborhood might be a great place to set up. Good agriculture potential. Could block off the rest of the street, too. Interesting possibility. Although they can bust down... maybe not. Maybe we'll just cross back over and not worry about it. That's a problem for future me. A new base? Maybe. Oh my god, there's 2 generators in this neighborhood? Is it right next to each other? No, there's some serious potential here for sure. It being kind of close to the main road is my biggest concern. But also, you know, we're kind of in the fancier part of town. Are you able to build more walls or perimeter fencing? Yes. That is definitely what we would be doing. And I'm actually heavily debating here. Although maybe we come back and it's the wall is busted down and then we just don't worry about it. In which case, you know, we could always rebuild too. The fact that they have an indoor fireplace here is kind of nice. It's just as close to the road as your current base. Yeah. No, you're right. Good alert system too. Although if zombies bust down one of the back walls and I start getting like agriculture set up here, it's gonna be a real pain. What advantage does the current base have over this? Mostly that it has all my shit, you know? Double fence it, that's a lot of work, but I think that might be a good answer. Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I think this is a good neighborhood to set up. Just got rid of the tenant. Yeah. New, fresh vacancy. already got decent bit of setup here. I think we do. This will just be a secondary base. We can have multiple bases. We'll come back to it later. I mean, this neighborhood, where are we on the... Just off the highway, pretty central in town. A lot more space to actually do things. Like, we can port things over. Good plan. If you're safe enough at your old place, no need to risk it. Yeah, that's my primary concern here is like, do I need to worry about it? Like, we have food here. This can just be a stash house for now. Doesn't need to be anything too crazy. How much trouble is it to have a satellite location for farming? I think you typically want to keep your farm pretty close by. Just because you got to check water like once every 3 days or so. Although we could probably set up a routine. Farming at the other place would suck. That is a guarantee. Whereas if we could fence it off, farming in here would actually be pretty easy. And it's been raining often enough. Might be a good idea. It may chance have a good idea. Big field fence, it's a gift horse. That's true. I just need to get some seeds over here then. Yeah, I think we do actually do that. It's not hard to convince me, but I have been convinced. What do we have in the trunk right now? We'll get the perishables moved inside at the very least. Get a little bit more food in here. Get our fresh foods in the freezer. Yeah, this'll be a good spot for now. Are there other survivors you can find? Not in this patch. It's been on their the to-do list for Zomboid for a hot minute now. And they're working their way through that to-do list cuz this we're in a beta branch right now. So they're constantly fixing things. And one of the things that they have said that they want to add for a minute is NPCs. Like, they just added back... Not added back. They added blacksmithing, because that's been something people have requested. They added ceramics. They added... what else did they add? Glass blowing. They added, like, actual NPC animals, too. If I remember correctly, there have been early game NPCs in prior patches. Yes. Who is Glass? Oh, you know, he's your NPC companion. You find a nice safe house, and then you get to blowing. But yes, there are a lot of there are a lot of NPCs that they've done before, and they are pretty. They're pretty buggy. The animals I feel like work pretty well for the most part, because like most of their behavior is just run away from the person, which I think has worked out for the best for interacting with them. Like you drive down the roadway and there's like rabbits that are in the middle of the road that you can hit or whatever. I was like the grind glass blowing levels. You and me both. What's glass? What's glass up to? I need to call him. Oh, I just looked at the time. I hate to do a short stream today, especially since I've been having so much fun. But we do have the concert to get to, so I'm going to go raid somebody else. Is there anybody that uh we would like to raid into? Thank you for streaming. Thank you for showing up, Riley. Thank you for the stream. Have fun with the music. Thank you for hanging out, Brungo. Best of luck with Rain World. If you were going live anytime soon, I would raid into you, but that does not appear to be the case. Enjoy your concert. Thank you, everybody. Who is live on the follow list? Good raid, not absolutely sure if you need a suggestion. That's true. They are doing seamless co-op newbie. You know what? We'll raid into not absolutely sure. I gave them a follow from one of your raids, Brongo. Thank you for the suggestion. Anyways, go say hi. If you want to give a raid message, say MIDI raid, I guess. I'm not very good at raid messages. I just kind of raid. Anyways, go have fun. I hope that Not Absolutely Sure has a good time. And